Wow. Is this car? We've all been wanting to drive this car. We've all been wanting to do a thing about it. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. If you are not familiar with George Nicholas, I don't know where to start. Winner Nyaribo, TT,
Yeah.
that was back in 2016.
2016, yeah.
Overall winner Masinga,
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Whistling Moran, 2019, overall winner.
Yeah.
And 2020, runners-up,
Runners-up.
Whistling Moran.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't need any other intro, but him and his Spec C, Subaru Impreza, WRX STI. The name, is it Lucifer, Lucy?
So what we did was Salman from Outward, he came up with the name. Obviously, like guys associate the cars with girls, so it was Lucy. And then the turbo I ran it EFR, so that's where it came on. But you can call it whatever you like.
Lucifer.
Yeah.
Mimi nilikuwa nafikiria ni church.
No. Some like, yeah, it's unique name.
Yeah. So man, where did you start with this car?
Initially I had goes back to I think to 2000 when I finished high school. So what I did was there was the car show at Carnival. They used to have music and some guys would bring their Subarus.
So the sound fest.
Yeah, everything, Akina Kali, all those guys. So everything started there, and then I think the Fast and Furious came along. So watching that, I was like, nah, I wanna get into speed. But that time I had like Toyota 110. You put the scoop, you think like the car is bigger, but that's all crap. I think 2013 or 2014, guys were starting to do tarmac racing in Kenya. So I thought when I go back, I wanna do this. So back there I bought which we call N12 here STI. You can't push hard because of the speed limit of service.
Back in
Australia. Yeah. So N12, good car, but still it was, being an old car, it was not like the way I wanted. My plans was like to build the cars, but at that time my plans changed. I had to fly out. So once I flew out, I came back here, and then I watched the guys racing again. I was like, you know what, I have to do big power. So talking to Outdoor, they knew about this car from Amir when Amir was alive.
So this car belonged to Amir?
Nah, his friend. So they were building the car together. So I thought like, this is the car to have.
All right. So when did you buy this?
So I made a deal in 2018. The guy waited for a whole year for me to get the money because I was doing other stuff as well.
Okay.
A good guy, Alim. Thanks for that.
No. So before this, were you racing with another vehicle?
So I had N12. I'm sure you have seen it, the silver one.
Yeah.
And then I had the Evo 10.
Evo, yeah. And by the way, Evo nimepata nayo juzi.
It's modified, so he's my friend, so we talk a lot.
Yeah.
It's good car.
So once you bought it, what was the first, as in, where did you start?
So my point was, I know the car is quick, just tune it and just leave it as that.
Okay.
But talking to guys, you get feedback from
But actually, that's the biggest lie.
Yeah.
I'm buying a fast car, tune, watch it guys stop.
Exactly.
That's the biggest lie we all.
But it doesn't always, power is addictive. Forums like Facebook groups, you talk to guys, you see what they're doing to their cars, you just think, okay, I'll just upgrade maybe the turbo and injectors and maybe the exhaust intake and I'm good. But then you see guys at big power, like, okay, let me go all out. Instead of like, the car was I think 360 or so, I decided, okay, let me do like maybe 500. Spoke to guys in UK, they said the best way, push like get the best build you can. Around 1,000 horsepower or so. There you'll be like, that's the most likely the best engine you can get. So from that direction you can play with power. If you want 300, just put small turbo. If you want like mid, again you can get a different turbo.
For me,
if you want big power,
mi sidanganyi. Mi sitaki big power. Mi nataka 500. Okay, 450 is good with me.
I can promise you'll never stop. Power is addictive.
Nikigonga 450, I don't know. Hiyo itakuwa tu sawa with me.
Yeah, you get 500, but then you get someone else with the same build as, SG9.
Yeah.
He's quicker than you, then you're like, what do I do now?
Yeah, true.
But with STI blocks, it's you have to at least get the best block, you are done.
Okay.
But good money.
What was the first thing you bought? Was it the block? Was it the turbo?
So mine was long engine, complete, everything. So all they did was just come, put it on, that's it, done.
Basically, on Shift Gang, we don't like talking about the amount because wives, because so many other things. Approximately, how much?
Be honest, if you're talking of the engine, anyone can tell you from 1M to 2M, that's where you're gonna get the engine. And that is now just buying the engine without doing nothing else.
Actually, this car is a car that will motivate young kids in high school, in primary school, to study hard so that you get good jobs. And it is one that will make grown-ups be in depression because now you wish you studied hard like somebody who's holding the camera. Anyway, so
for me, I look at it from different direction. I don't drink. I don't go for I'm not like fan of like enjoying for holidays and stuff like that. It's like if like I invest in this car, if I wanted to sell, I'm sure I can get like 70% back. Because all I have to do is I have the original engine, put it back on, sell the car, and then sell parts differently.
All right.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the car. Let's talk about George Nicholas.
Yeah.
Because I'm in most of these forums, and one thing that have stood out, one thing that is standing out, George is one of the most humble guys ever in the car scene.
Yeah.
Because sisi wenye hatuna good power, we kind of sit back and tungoje something happen, maybe tutaambiwa, but most of the fans, actually, I spend a lot of time with most of the fans, most of the drivers. You talk to them, they'll tell you, George is a cool guy, hata uwezi sema yeye ndio mwenye gari.
Yeah.
Now, George mwenyewe, how good is he as a driver? Rate yourself, maybe 1 to 10.
That's very difficult. Sometimes I take like losing as a positive because I can go back on the drawing board, then I know what I need to improve me as a driver, and I know what I need to work on the car. But on the other side, it's like yes, you want to be quick, but you have to have time to spend time with the car, so you understand how everything works, how to push, braking, suspension, engine, how everything works. But unfortunately, because I live overseas, I don't have time for that. So when I come, I just push as much as I can.
When we were shooting the trailer of this car with Chris, we had a discussion with Chris, and he told me actually he drives the car more than you.
Very true. What I have is what I have, and that's what I'm gonna use to race.
Wow. Let me ask you, what advice do you give somebody like me? I'm in that area of chasing power, but I'm not yet there. There are others who are starting. Okay, I'm also starting, but at least I'm somewhere. There are others who are starting. There are others who want to buy a car and just do racing. What do you tell us?
For me, the status is you have to have your mind into racing. I see it like as a talent. Let's say if you want to be a musician, you have to practice on how to sing. You have to go to studio and practice, and so you can become better. But the music has to be in you. So for me, racing is into me. It's all about perfecting what I have. But it's not like you getting someone who can't race, but then they build a quick car and then think they're gonna win. It doesn't work like that.
Wow. I love that.
Learn what deal with what you have. Don't
first of all what I have.
Exactly.
Maximize what I have.
Exactly.
Then from there.
So if it's 300, do with 300.
Right now the Forester behind us has what is it? 23. I think it has 23 horsepower.
Come on, man.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
I wish that was true.
It has 23, so
Quicker than bike, man.
I know. So let him utilize what he has. Then after that,
You.
Yes.
so I utilize that. Then after that, you've owned an Evo, an Evo 10, and you've owned
STR.
an STR.
Yeah.
Let's settle this once and for all. Which is the better car?
Evo. There's no doubt about
Oh
that.
my God! Really?
But the trick is, if you're a good driver, STR can be quicker than Vivo.
Exactly.
For sure. But if you are not like good as a driver, Evo is a good package.
There's a friend of mine who has an Evo 10. Every time I run with the Evo 10, I don't want to be assisted. I want the raw thing. I want the raw power, the raw braking, the cornering.
Yeah.
There's a time I was entering a corner and when I was unajua ukiingia na sub. There's a way you start to correct.
Yeah.
So my mind was I was in the sub. So I started correcting. Kumbe AYC
It's kicking.
had started now correcting. So
Yeah.
you now overcorrect. Now it's hectic. So Evo is the best.
But we are talking of stock versus stock.
Stock versus stock.
Evo is the car to buy if you want, like, obviously, a race and to
Remain
get
stock.
Yeah. But if you wanna upgrade, now that is up to you.
Okay. So wow. So
But Evo, obviously, even if you're upgrading, everything is a bit easier, but it's a bit more expensive more than STI.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Can we move on to the car? Tufungue boot.
Yeah. No issues.
This is the heart, eh?
Yeah, that's where everything is.
Okay. So this is 2.2
2.2 liter cross deck.
cross deck.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it IAG cross deck or?
No. It was, I think this engine, I can't remember the year, but the Subaru made this, I think for I'm not sure if it was for Legacy, but I think before 2000, that's when they made this engine. But so what guys in UK did, they buy the blocks, then they like refresh them, then you buy new heads, and like you can build as whatever you want.
So the block itself is a closed deck.
Yeah,
But it's not from
originally
IAG.
from Subaru.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So the block is closed deck. Heads.
So heads are Spec C. I think that's the best heads you can get. But I think guys in US have different heads. But yeah,
Okay.
I opted for this choice.
For the car itself.
Yeah.
So they are the stock headers.
Because with this I just run like stock ECU. I don't have to do anything. It's just straight bolt on.
Definitely a front mount.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey. Turbo.
It's not big.
Both.
Yeah.
So which turbo is this?
So that is 6258 EFR.
EFR.
Yeah.
Bogwana.
Yeah.
6258.
Yeah. It's way too small, but it does its job.
Both. It's way
It's too small.
too small for what?
For this car, as in, like I took it for a drive.
Yeah.
You can feel. Yeah. As I said before, your car should be quick and maybe on top. If I was to boost with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the exact turbo you are running at Masinga?
Yeah, but now this is not for drugs. This is just
this
for
the
slow,
response.
for slow tracks.
Okay.
If I'm doing like Gymkhana, TGRV or Morans, that's what I can run. But when it comes for drugs, different breed.
Wow. So like Masinga, did you switch the turbos? Or?
Yeah. We had like everything there.
So for drugs, you put in another Bogwana?
Yeah,
or
9280. way big.
the one that looks like a spare wheel?
Yeah. I know.
Unajua kuna time tulifungua bonnet tukashindwa kwa nini mnaweka spare wheel nini mbele?
No, it's big.
Okay. The gearbox stock or
Stock, but again, I have to look different options. I'm speaking to guys in the US to see what they can offer.
so the gearbox is stock.
Stock.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The brakes nimeona ni
Endless. So I had Brembos before, like, but different rotors. I think they were, I can't remember the name, but I saw this kit being sold in Japan, so I thought, nah, I'll go for it. So
okay. And the tires both. The width of the back tires, it's 285.
it's 275.
275.
35.
275.
Yeah.
That is Land Cruiser territory.
Exactly. So if you want to put the power down, you're gonna go at least wider tires than stock.
Yeah.
But how far you go is up to you.
Wow. That wide na kwa drugs. I remember kwa drugs after you, I don't know whom you were racing, but when you took off, the car just went sideways, was struggling for grip with 285.
Exactly. But to be honest, that's not the proper tire for drugs. So I'm working on things to change things up a bit, because obviously you want to be quicker.
Hey, all right. Okay. So the front is still.
So that's 245, 245.40, and then 275.35.
Okay.
So I'm running staggered set because the body kit it's wider in the rear than the front. But also the issue with all-wheel drive, you have to run square set. But for me, I don't drive the car a lot, but I have done the maths because the point is the rolling diameter. The front and the rear must be the same.
Oh, okay.
So I've done the calculations, which is good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Any upgrades coming soon?
You can't stop building, so I'm still improving on things, but nothing major now. 'Cause
Nothing major.
I have the power, so it's all like simple
Or
things.
just like tweaks, huh?
Yeah.
Finally, a question that most people avoid, or most car guys don't want to talk about. How much are you putting down?
How much am I putting down?
Yes, in terms of horsepower.
So with the engine, about 1,000 horsepower, but I have never run that far. The one we had, the 9280, when we did last Masinga, it was about 600. But the good thing with this car is all-wheel drive. So when I was racing the BMW, I can launch as in I'm off the line, I'm quicker than rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So now we have to, as in, finally work on tune to see what the engine can do.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll do that once I leave. Salman will work on whatever he has, and we'll see how much more we can get.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the engine
Yeah.
is capable of 1,000.
Also, yeah.
But the maximum you have done on this car is 600.
About 600.
600.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Marshall, the UG, the BMW guy. The first run, what happened?
You have to sit time. Well, you have to sit with these cars and learn how to drive.
Yeah.
So the key thing, you have to learn how to drive the car. For me, and I'm sure some guys mentioned, I arrived the day before.
Yeah.
The car had issues. Actually, they were tuning before Masinga, before drugs, I think on Saturday night. So I have the car, I have to work out with everything I have.
Wow. All right. Any last words to the motoring culture in Kenya, especially these enthusiasts in hii hapa?
I'll just say thanks to Shipgun for having me. Keep pushing. I want you ladies as well to come on board. Do racing as well. It's good to have you on board. For young guys who are like want to do racing, just work with what you have. You don't have to be like built for big power. 300, 200, whatever you have, just come with that, and like, at least slowly you will improve. Again, car is just for fun. It's not like you're gonna balance between your investment and like obviously like look after your family, and what you have is like a car. You know, don't go overboard. Just make sure everything is balanced. Don't invest every coin you have in the car, because at the end of the day, you're not gonna live in a car.
There you have it, guys. That's George Nicholas for you. He's Spec C. I think this is one of the, if it's not the top dog in East Africa, it's among their hapo. That is George Nicholas and his beast. Mimi Kenya tuliamua, we decided my wife should take care of the family, I take care of the car. That way the balance.
But make sure she checks the account, yeah.
Exactly. So log in, subscribe, share, I mean everywhere. Shift Gang 254, where we bring you the best drivers of West Africa, their built cars, anything motoring. Utaipata hapa Shift Gang. Till next time, cheers.